Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Today we're going to take a look at Magic World Online, and this is a free-to-play 2D fantasy MMORPG. So let's get started and jump right in. As you can see, as usual, I do have my one male warrior created, Heldenfeld, and he was kind of just so I can get kind of a good bearing on the game. I know this is a little bit older game, and some of you may be wondering, well, why are you reviewing this older game? Well, we haven't reviewed it before, and it is a game that it does still have a decent population of players playing it, and it has some pretty cool features that some of you out there like a lot. That's obviously why it does have a decent population. So let's go through the character creation process. So let's go ahead and create a new character. Now, as you can see, you've got 4 different character types. You've got the warrior, the archer, the summoner, and the mage. Now, unfortunately, with each of these, you don't have a lot of character customization. You basically have none. You have a couple things. You choose your class, you choose whether you want to be male or female, and then you pretty much choose what faction you want to be a part of, Dynasty or the Empire. We're going to actually go with Dynasty this time, and let's see, I think we'll go with a mage. We'll go with a mage female, and let's go ahead and use our usual name, and let's hit create and get started. Character created successfully, so let's confirm. There she is, level 1 female mage, Jelena Jensen. So let's go ahead and enter the game and get started. Now, as you can see, graphics are a bit dated. They do receive updates fairly often. The overall game does receive updates fairly often, and the graphics have been updated. You can kind of see it kind of has that old style, maybe even kind of a little isometric Diablo style gameplay. But one thing the game definitely does not do is it does not handhold you through the game too much, and probably why is right out of the gate you've got this MWO robot, shortcut L. So you can jump right into the game, set a robot, run out, fight monsters, walk away from the game, go completely AFK, and you'll just level up and level up and level up. But you do have some quests, so we're going to go ahead and go through the quest process. And one thing I can tell you is you always see this in these Eastern developed games. They always use the worst it's absolutely the worst font possible for all of us to be able to be reading all this stuff. But let's go to Novice Enroll, and it tells you all this different stuff. Talk to the mage mentor, located to the southeast of the village with coordinates such and such. So you can find these coordinates. Now, one thing, we're going to go ahead and accept that quest, and let's go ahead and track it. You must select a quest to track, so let's go ahead and track it. Let's actually select it, and there we go, recruit reference. Let's go ahead and close this, and let's bring up our map. So we can see right here, we're over here in this bottom corner, we're right there. Now, southeast of we want the summoner mentor or the mage mentor, and there he is, the mage mentor. And we can just go ahead, and one of the cool things is right on the map, we can click on that, and off we go, heading off in that direction. Now, one thing that kind of stinks, you guys will be seeing this in whatever resolution you have, is the resolution has a max. So we have a max at 1024 by 768 window. So it's too bad that it doesn't, they haven't updated the game to where you can go to a higher resolution. But like I said, the game is a little bit older, so it's really set up for players who have machines that can't necessarily handle a lot of the great graphics that exist in some of the newer games, but yet they still want to be able to play an isometric. This is a cross between an MMORPG and action MMO, because simply you go out and you just hack and slash to death, just endless numbers of monsters. So let's go ahead and complete this quest. Let's Novice Enroll. Quest Know Your Battle. Now we want to go out and eliminate some wild wasps and some killer wasps. So and there's our quest rewards that we'll get for go ahead and doing this. And let's hit accept, click that, track, and close that up. Now we need to kill 10 wasps and 5 killer wasps. Now we're gonna head outside. Now see, we're getting these little hints. A lot of you're used to seeing these little question marks show up, showing us what we've got available. And as you can see, the game doesn't do anything to tell you leveled up. I leveled up to level 2 by turning in that first quest, but it did not tell me anything. Now we've got our wasps down here. Now we don't have, let's go ahead and bring up our backpack. We do have our first skill, and everything is based upon skill books. So you're going to get these skill books. You're going to be able to go to that mentor that I just was at, and you're going to be able to learn these new skills. And let's go ahead and, where's our skill tab? So let's find this thing. Skill shortcut K. So let's bring that up, and there's our energy bolt. And we're going to go ahead and drop this right into F1. So you can see right here, it's the usual style, or the kind of older style of F1, F2 through F12 for all your different hotkeys, which you can change that up if you want to. Now, one thing that I do want to see, and I wanted to show you guys if it's possible, and it's not. So unfortunately, a lot of the different interface options, as you can see, are very, very large. We can't actually shrink those down. So we're kind of stuck dealing with all that. But we're going to go ahead and we're not going to knock them too much on that because it is an older game. But let's get right into how we go ahead and turn on our amazing... We're not going to physical attack. We want hit and run. So hit and run allows me to actually fire away with my energy bolt, run a little bit away, then fire with my energy bolt, run a little bit away. And you can see moving radius 5, attack time 50 milliseconds, distance 5. So we're going to set all that stuff up. Then we're going to go ahead and set a skill. And where's K? We're going to go ahead and let's move this over here. Drop that auto cast just like that. And then we need items. Let's go ahead and pick up, you know what, let's go ahead and just pick up blue, gold, dark gold, and green. No reason to pick up the white crap. And see, we can actually set auto sell or don't sell or whatever. We could select certain types. So you can see this bot system is really, really in depth. You've got team stuff, you've got route. Oh, one thing that I want to do was nurse. And then let's bring up our backpack again. Let's drop in our health potions. And we'll do it at like 30%. And then we'll drop our mana potions. Where's the mana potions? Down here. So use a mana potion. Let's bring that up there. And we'll use a mana potion when we're at, yeah, let's go down to like 10%. That's fine. That's not life or death right there. So we've got this auction permit, so we can actually auction a few items away. But let's go ahead and we need to select a route. So we have no route right there. So let's bring up the map. Nope. Let's go ahead and how do we apply edited route? So I think we bring up the map and then we go like, nope, there. Nope. It's kind of got one right there set up for us, it looks like. So let's go ahead and close that out. But it doesn't look like route edit. Clear map, load. Let's just go ahead and start and see what happens. So basically you can see, there we go, we're off. So we're firing our little energy bolt, we're running around, moving away from these guys, and just firing away. And they're dying, they're going down pretty quick. And you can see my experience bar down here, which is at 27 of 100, is slowly filling up. I'm getting about 9 experience every time I take one of these guys out. And you can see I've got this lightness belt, but because it's white, I'm not picking it up. But at the same time, if you notice, because these mana are these, the mana hit point potions, so I'm not getting those either, or this boar treasure map. So I might want to edit that a little bit. So we're going to go in there and let's go to items and let's do white. Let's do stop and let's do start again and see if I'll run around and pick all that stuff up. It looks like I did. And there it is. I've got all this crap picked up now. And we've got this boar treasure map, which boar treasure map fragments, we need 3 of those. We've got a lightness belt for archer. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep doing that while we look at the rest of the interface options that are available. So we already looked at the skills. We've got a community shortcut so we can add friends, guilds, and team members. You can see I'm running in my little circle, but unfortunately it looks like I kind of ran out of guys in this area to kill. I need 5 killer wasps now, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to stop this real quick. Let's go ahead and stop that because I think I killed that guy, and let's go find some killer wasps. There's the wild wasps. There's some killer wasps down here. So let's get into this mess down here and just start taking these guys out. Let's go to this route. And let's start the robot. Nope. Let's stop the robot. Do that. Let's do map. It's clear. Nope. There we go. So we start there. And we'll go to there, to there, to there, to there, to there. There we go. So we'll go to a much wider range as far as the... let's save that. And let's stop and start, and we'll run around in that little square. So you'll see my character will run around that little square, keep healing herself, keep picking up crap, keep taking these guys out. And the killer wasp, which is a little bit higher level than me, level 5, I should be able to take out here pretty quick. It's pretty funny because I just keep attacking different ones instead of killing the one that I was attacking first of all. So there we go. I actually killed it, and I got 1 now on my quest. But let's look at some more of these interface options. So we've got the quests, and right now we'll run finished, as you can see anyways, because I have that being tracked out here. Then we've got emocons. We've got all kinds of different ones. You're probably seeing a bunch going in chat. Now, a lot of people always ask, you know, why would they put a bot in the game? And I have a couple of reasons that I think that games put bots in like this. One, I think it helps to deal with a lot of the early leveling and get you past a lot of that stuff, get you into the later game where players are really paying attention to each other, spending a lot more time hanging out, spending a lot more time actually going after gear that they really care about. And let's face it, so many times in the early levels, it's pretty much just the same thing. Doesn't matter the game, but really what a lot of people want to see is they want to see the end game, they want to see the bosses, they want to get into the guild stuff, they want to get into all the team play and all that different stuff. And so getting your way past all this early stuff by using a bot, I don't really see as being a big deal. But at the same time, it is kind of nice to actually play a game on your own and not actually have the game play for you. So I get both sides of the argument. That's just my personal thought process on it. And so I don't really get upset about games that do actually have these bots built in, which there's more and more of them coming out that actually have them. Now, that's my theory on my feelings as far as these bots are concerned, and this thing came up because I leveled to level 4, talking about intro to the interface. I think I pretty much got it. So let's go ahead and go through some of this other stuff. We looked at the quest, we looked at the Mocha. Oh, the other thing is a lot of times, especially with these Eastern games, a lot of players, they want to interact. They want to be talking to each other, and they want to be very social. So a lot of times they'll just have somebody bot, and they'll be talking, whether it be on a VoIP type system, Ventrilo, Skype, whatever, or they'll be in the text chat here, chatting with each other. So they kind of get over kind of all of the different stuff that goes on. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear this. Let's go to the map. We're gonna go from there, and we'll go down here, and we'll go to there, and then there, and we'll go over to there. Why not? Sure. So let's go ahead and start that route. So stop robot, start robot. So it's kind of cool because you can adjust it on the fly, especially because I've only got 2 of the 5 killer wasps, and I kept finding myself in this area that only has these wild wasps and doing my little hit and run. So, but that's the other thing, is the other reason that I feel that a lot of these games introduce these bots is because they want people to be more social. And the social aspect also goes towards what I was talking about with getting the later game with guilds, raiding, going after the big nasty bosses and all that stuff. So all that stuff gets to be a much bigger deal, especially later on in later games. So let's see some of the crap that we've picked up. I'm sure we picked up some stuff that I can equip. Nope, bunch of warrior stuff, some summoner stuff. I did get a warrior skill book, so it's kind of nice to see that the skill books also drop from the monsters, so you don't necessarily have to just pay for them. You can go out and basically hunt them down. Oh, we did get a belt, so we can go ahead and equip that. So there we go. Let's go ahead and look at our character sheet, and there we go. There's my character, looking pretty good. It's really unfortunate that you can't actually customize your character, but as you start to add these different items, your character does start to look a little bit different. But then you've got your basic character, and you can see you've got a lot of different item spots that you can actually equip items to, and you can see there's all my resistances, there's my different attributes. But then you've got this attribute here, which also goes into a little bit more detail: your max hit points, your max mana points, my evil percentage, hit point recovery rate, and then additional damages based upon the different elements. Then you've also got social, which you've got reputation of 0, and no spouses. You can actually marry your whatever, we'll call them friends. And then you can get different mounts, run around on different mounts, and it's pretty cool when you get the different mounts because you do move rather quickly. So it's really nice once you do get the different mounts. So there's our backpack. Let's see what else we've got here. We've got system settings. We've got log off. We don't want to do that. We've got help. Then you've got the PK option, so you can set, obviously, the PK. Really kind of cool. I mean, the PK is basically what it is. It's just PK, player killing, go out, start PKing, and that's how you obviously earn your quote-unquote evil percentage. Then you've got the team options, which I'm not on a team, so that's all fine and dandy. And then you've got the MWO Mall, which we could take a look at some of the things in here. You've got the Blessed Pack. I mean, it's all the basic stuff, but then here's a bunch of the different mounts. So you've got an elementary mount package, ordinary mount egg, juvenile powder box. You've got all kinds of stuff. And then you've got teleportation and combat, guild and team stuff, and then just basically your fun stuff. So let's go ahead and close that out. And we've got, that is pretty much it as far as the interface options. So the game is obviously kept really, really simple. Now, unfortunately, I'm already level 5, and because I don't have, another skill set in my, or I haven't found one yet, I can't actually equip anything. But I think, there we go, I did find some other stuff. Let's go ahead and let's bring up our character sheet. Let's go back to character, and let's equip these gauntlets. And what else can we equip here? Nope, that's a summoner. That's summoner. It seems very common. You know, it's so typical. Whenever you're playing a certain class, it seems to always happen to me at least, that you always find the equipment for the other classes. And then when you go back and you play the, let's say like right now I've got a bunch of summoner crap. So when if I were to play a summoner, I would end up finding all kinds of stuff for my mage. It's just so typical. It always happens. But I'm really, really tempted to head back to that mentor, kill all these guys real quick, and head back to that mentor to get some more powerful. I don't look at that. I don't even know my 5th kill on these killer wasps. I think I'm gonna have to turn the robot off, kill all these guys. Let's stop the robot. Stop the robot. Head over here. Let's start taking these guys out real quick. Let's just see if we can start beating on them. I'm actually getting my ass handed to me, and I died. There we go. Perfect. Pretty much what I wanted. So I can head back to town, and I gotta wait 3 seconds, but that shouldn't take too long. So there we go. Maybe. Reviving City. There we go. So now we can head down, and let's go down here and talk to the mage mentor, and let's get some better skills. So we can take a look at the skill system as far as the skill books are concerned. But it's nice that you can just click on the map and just cruise over to where these guys are. So let's get down there. There's the mage mentor. And that's the other thing. So you can see here I've got class transfer, intro to first class transfer. So at level 15, I'm going to be able to choose whether I want to be a fire or an ice mage. And this is one of the things that gets really, really cool with the game. So at level 15, I have the opportunity to do that. Become a fire or an ice mage. You could see the main skills that are available for those 2 different classes. Then, at level 30, I can become a flame magic mentor or an ice magic mentor. And so you can see all the skills that go along with that. Then, at level 50, I can become a Fire Dragon Pontifex or a Flame Oracle, which it's really nice to see all of these different. And then here's the third one for actually the ice portion, which is the Ice Drake Oracle or the Ice World Pontifex. So the game gets, as you progress through the levels, the game really, really gives you a lot of opportunity to expand as far as your class is concerned. So it's really kind of cool. So we can go ahead and look at all the different ones. So if we follow the path of the Fire Mage, then we become a Flame Mage Mentor, and then at level 50, we have this opportunity to choose a Fire Dragon Pontifex, the Flame Oracle, and then at level 65, the Dragon Baking Master, which is pretty funny, or the Blaze Pluto. Really interesting names, but hey, this is what you get out of Eastern developed games. And let's go back. I want to go back over there. Hold on. So, and then on the ice side, you can see you get Freezing Uranus, which I'm trying so hard not to laugh my freaking ass off right now. And yes, pun was completely intended on Freezing Uranus right there. And Frosty Neptune. I understand they're just sticking with planetary usage, but Freezing Uranus, come on, guys. Get somebody in the West to tell you exactly what you just did there. So, but anyways, you guys can see right there. So essentially, as a mage, I've got a lot of opportunity to change and get to different types and of classes and kind of play around with those. Now, here we go. Here's the skill book. So we've got an Energy Explosion, which is available at level 4, and we've got an Energy Shield. Now, I'm actually going to take, and let's see. Let's go ahead and let's sell a bunch of stuff. And this is one thing that I remember from when I played the game before, is you can't just right click and sell all this stuff. Now maybe one of you guys know an easy way, maybe it's like hold down shift or hold down control or something like that. But obviously the game is not showing me a very easy way to just sell all this junk. So if you know an easier way, please tell me, put it in the comments, and let us know what that easy way is to be able to sell this stuff. So now we want to go ahead and buy the Energy Explosion. Come on. Price 500. I have 401. Awesome. I don't even have enough to get this Energy Explosion. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to head outside of town, take out this last killer wasp. Let's go find one. Let's go find a killer wasp. There's a bunch of wild wasps. Let's get down here. There's one. So we're just going to fire away on him. This shouldn't take too long. There we go. pick up the Minor Mana Potion, hit our map, cruise back to the Mage Mentor, and I think when we turn in this quest, we should get enough actual gold to buy the skill that we want, and then be able to go do much, much more damage. So, know your battle, let's complete that. Let's scroll this all down, well done, so on and so forth. So, when you reach level 3, you should pay a visit to Sheridan in the village. He's a very innocent child, and he might tell you some secrets. Well, I've already reached that level, and it's kind of freaking out right there, which is kind of funny. So, we got what we needed as far as loot was concerned, so we can go ahead and pick up Energy Explosion. So there we go, we've learned Energy Explosion. Let's bring up skills. And see, here's all of our job advancements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can see it's kind of off to the side a little bit, but hey, whatever. So we've got it, and then there's our basic skills, which you've got Cancel Polymorph, Pick Up Item, Lock Monster, which some of these things are just too funny for me. So you can also see here, you've got an elementary single target spell that causes magic damage within a scope of 50 to 90 points. And next level is required level 5. So required proficiency, I've got 76 of 100. So if I keep using that, this will actually move up to the next level. And I'm basically, I'm almost there. I've got 76 of 100. So I could go out and I could essentially use that until it levels up. And you can see this all-out energy magic attack that hurts the target within a scope of 150 to 400 points. Now, Energy Explosion is much better, so I'm probably going to use it. And I'm going to go here. Let's go to skills. And let's add that to here, and we'll go out here in a second after we go ahead and find this little kid who supposedly has a quest for me. His name was, I believe, Sheldon. Let's see if we can find him. There's the mailbox, Star, Tina, the grocery merchant, armor merchant, Sherrison, Schaefer, Terrence. I don't see a Sheldon. Prize exchange. Oh well, whatever. Let's just head out of town and set up our bot and get this party started. So let's see our route. Let's clear. Let's grab the map. So we're going to actually go, you know what, let's go up here. And we'll go down to here. And we'll go up to there. And we'll go to there. And we'll make a big loop like that. And so let's start the robot. And off we go. We've got plenty of potions, if I remember correctly. Yep, we got plenty of potions. And we've got a bunch of treants. So we'll take out these treants as well. And we'll take out mostly these wasps. And you can see, because I've got a big cooldown on this, I'm not using it all the time, but I'm using my little energy bolt all the time. And I'm doing a little bolt and run. So I'm getting all these guys, and then every time my energy bolt comes up, we'll go ahead and use that and hit a whole bunch of guys with a bunch of damage and keep running away. But either way, I hope this gives you guys a good idea of what Magic World Online has to offer, and I hope you enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. And please make sure you like these videos. We really do appreciate that. Lastly, if there's anything we missed or anything you think we should have covered, please do not hesitate to comment. Tell me I'm horrible. Tell me I'm this. I really don't care. Or, you know, the most part that I want those comments for is for all the other players out there that want to be able to learn from all the things that maybe I didn't do right. So, if you'd like to play or learn more about Magic World Online, you can read our full review at MMODen.com or just click the link in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.